All right, well, hello everyone and happy Wednesday. It's digital host A.J. Wuest welcoming you back to Before the Four, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I hope you're all having a wonderful Wednesday afternoon so far, wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Wednesday afternoon here. Now first, let's begin in Huntsville, where 2 men are now dead following a single vehicle crash on Highway 72 late last night. Officials say the wreck happened at Highway 72 and Moores Mill Road around 11 p.m. Huntsville police say preliminary findings indicate the vehicle left the roadway, entered the median, and Highway 72 struck a culvert and then overturned. The vehicle was occupied by the 2 people who passed away. Now, at this time, the identities of the 2 victims are unknown, but we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more. But now, you all know the drill. Let's talk about the weather. It's a tad bit sunnier and warmer today than the past few days, but for tomorrow, a slight chance of rain remains. Let's turn over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for what we can expect. Brad?
Well, we don't have much rain out there. We do have a couple of showers. That's about it. And they'll sneak in here from time to time. It's good to see it because we do need the rain. Doubtful we'll see significant rain over the weekend, but we do have a chance. 20% Saturday, 30% for an isolated storm by Sunday. Noticeably hotter out there today, and it will be hot this weekend, but nothing out of the ordinary. Currently on the Parkway in Huntsville, here just a little after 3 o'clock. It's 82 degrees, and there's that brief shower up there. Probably see a few more of these. And notice that most of them are in southern middle Tennessee, but that area is dropping to the south. 86 in Muscle Shoals, 86 Meridianville, Hazel Green. So again, we're pretty much getting back to normal, but overall, not a whole lot of rain. Here's the noon hour tomorrow, just a shower here and there, but not a whole lot to this. And this is actually not very good news because we do need the rain. We're going to really start drying out here over the next week. But some areas will get isolated, brief, heavy downpours all the way through about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And then things just kind of shut off after sunset. But more warmer nights ahead. Overnight lows back closer to 70. Afternoon highs near 90 degrees. We'll talk more about that 10-day forecast coming up at 4, 5, and 6.
Well, certainly good to know. And also, that will be streamed wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon at 9:30 tonight. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will have the latest he's seeing on the radar. Again, tonight at 9:30. You're just not going to want to miss it. But now, earlier today, school officials announced that an 8th grade student at Mountain Gap Middle School died after being hit by a vehicle while riding his bike. Officials say the student, 13-year-old Kalel Fox, was riding his bike near the intersection of Bailey Cove Road and Green Mountain Road yesterday afternoon when he was hit by a vehicle. Huntsville police officials say his injuries were considered life-threatening, and he was taken to the hospital where he sadly passed away from his injuries. Now, 48's Noah Cowell will have more details on this very tragic story coming up in our evening newscast, so make sure to stick around for that. But now moving out to Decatur, where a former Decatur police detective is filing a federal lawsuit over discrimination and also a hostile work environment. 48's Margot Gray spoke with the former officer and has more.
Rosalind Jowers never thought just a few years after this celebratory moment of being sworn in as a new Decatur police officer in 2016, she would be suing those she once served with.
I got into the job because I love working those that the system is against.
Jowers claims as she rose through the ranks to become the first black female detective ever in the department, the system quickly turned against her. In her newly filed federal lawsuit, she claims her aspirations of becoming the next police chief made her a target among colleagues.
The criteria changed to where you needed at least 10 years of experience and a bachelor's degree. And that is what a lot of them did not have. And I came in with a master's and 10 years of experience.
The lawsuit alleges her direct supervisors conspired to make sure she remained, quote, in her place, with reprimands of false allegations and complaints.
I was under constant scrutiny, constant investigation over the most minute things that the average officer would never have to be placed under investigation for.
Like allegedly cursing at someone in public, or when she received a bad evaluation accusing her of not investigating cases thoroughly. The lawsuit alleges she was subjected to a hostile work environment, retaliation, and racial and gender discrimination. Her attorney, Richard Rice.
She was somewhat of a unicorn. She stood out in the room being an African-American woman in law enforcement, and it's a boys club, and a mostly white males boys club within the Decatur Police Department. I think that maybe led to a culture of cronyism and individuals thinking that based on popularity or based on seniority in terms of time with the department, they were entitled to certain positions.
When she was terminated in 2022, she was allowed to look at her personnel file and couldn't find any documentation of all the complaints, warnings, performance issues cited as the reason for her firing.
And to look within that file to see that everything that was reduced to writing, there is no documents to back it up. And you have cost me everything that I've worked so hard for.
In this situation, it's almost like bad behavior is being rewarded within the city of Decatur's police department, whereas somebody who's acting with professionalism and integrity, trying to do things the right way, becomes the odd person out.
Everybody is going to believe what they would like to believe. However, the evidence speaks for itself. And if it wasn't about race, then what was it about? And let's bring it to the forefront.
Well, now heading out to Scottsboro, in case you missed it, the Scottsboro Police Department has started a fundraiser for the officer who was injured in the line of duty, sparking a 20-hour manhunt just weeks ago. 48's Faith Delp with the details on that fundraiser.
I talked to Chief Greg Godfrey and Mayor Jim McCamey, who both tell me Porch is doing okay, all things considered, and he is still undergoing surgeries. Godfrey says they are having to reconstruct Porch's hand during these many surgeries. Mayor McCamey told me they are getting closer to the next step, rehabilitation.
Great attitude, he's doing well. They put together an account at Redstone Federal Credit Union here. It's a good opportunity for someone that wants to do something to help.
That Redstone account was made by the Scottsboro Police Department to help with covering any uncovered expenses for Porch and his family. Porch was moved to an out-of-state hand specialist last week, and donated money will go towards gas, food, and other necessities.
Just be keeping it in our thoughts and prayers and hoping for a really good recovery.
Godfrey says you can go into any Redstone Federal Credit Union and donate in person under the Derek Porch Benefit Fund, or you can go to Scottsboro Police Facebook page where they have a link you can donate online as well. Reporting in Scottsboro, Faith Delp, 48 News, on your side.
And you can also find that fundraiser right now on our website. Just go to WAFF.com. But now we're going to take a short break, but coming up, covering the courts here in the Tennessee Valley, and an awesome story you're just not going to want to miss. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in 1 minute. All right, well, hello everyone and welcome back to Before the Four. Now covering the courts a bit here in the Tennessee Valley in case you missed it. Yesterday, 48's Kelly Neese was in court while the Athens woman who was charged with capital murder after her baby was found dead early Friday morning. 48's Kelly Neese with the details.
Last week, Morgan Thornton told 48 News that she didn't remember what happened. But when I tried to speak to her, she seemed very emotional. Take a look. Morgan, do you remember anything? Morgan, can you tell me anything about what happened that night? Today, Thornton was assigned 2 attorneys to defend her in this capital murder case. Thornton is accused of killing her infant child. Deputies say they were called to Thornton's home in Athens early Friday, where they found an unresponsive infant who had been severely beaten. Investigators also say Thornton appeared intoxicated. Deputies say their investigation led them to believe that Thornton caused the child's injuries, and that's what led to her capital murder charges. Thornton was assigned 2 attorneys, and her next court appearance is scheduled for next week. Reporting in Athens, Callie Neese, 48 News, on your side.
And also covering the courts in Lauderdale County, where a man charged with capital murder for the death of Autumn Strickland had a preliminary hearing yesterday. Logan Rogers is accused of hitting Strickland with her own car and then trying to burn her body. 48's Aria Pons with everything that went down at that hearing.
In a few months, a Lauderdale County judge says that Logan Rogers will be back in court, while in about 2 years, he could stand trial for the death of Autumn Strickland. Lauderdale County officials say realistically, capital murder cases take a while to push through the legal system because of the complexity and how long it takes both the prosecution and defense to get all of their evidence and witnesses together. At the arraignment hearing, the judge even openly said that a realistic trial date would be sometime in 2027. Rogers' charges were upgraded at the end of July from murder to capital murder. The full indictment was read to Rogers in court Tuesday. Investigators say Rogers stole Strickland's car and ran her over with it twice intentionally in May. They add that there are surveillance cameras that show the car circling back again to hit Strickland before driving off. Eventually, police say Rogers came back to grab her body. Investigators have said the two did not know each other before that night. From what they've pieced together, it appears Rogers asked for a ride from downtown Florence after a chance meeting between the two. The judge also took up a motion for the prosecution and investigators to take hair samples from Rogers for analysis at the forensic lab. Those samples were taken right there at the courthouse. Because Rogers is facing a capital murder charge, he is still being held behind bars with no bond. Reporting in Lauderdale County, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
Absolutely disturbing, but now let's head to the good side, and with this one, it just proves you're never too old to realize a dream. An 85-year-old woman got her wish to go skydiving. As LNL's Steve Harris shows us, it wasn't just about the thrill of the ride. It was a way to connect with her late husband, too. Let's check it out.
At 85 years old, Charlotte Wazinski stays pretty active.
I like art, I like to paint, I like to travel.
But so far, her biggest adventure?
Raising 5 kids, but...
That is, until now. You see, Charlotte's husband was a paratrooper with the 101st Airborne.
Screaming Eagles.
Charlotte always wanted to follow in his footsteps.
It was just a dream in the back of my head.
Well, it just so happens that Cedarhurst Senior Living, where Charlotte lives, has a program called Dream Come True.
We have over 50 communities across the 7-state footprint where each community selects one resident where we fulfill their dream.
If they pick me, I'm for it.
They picked her. And Charlotte took to the sky.
And I'm looking down and I go, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into?
And jumped.
The, free fall was just wonderful. I mean, and then after the parachute opened, that glide down, so quiet, so peaceful.
Finally seeing what her husband saw.
As I'm falling in that, I'm saying, oh, so this is what it's about. This is what he liked.
Do that again?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go back up.
Yeah! What was your favorite part?
I think when we first jumped out and I realized we were free falling.
Yeah.
Would you suggest someone like me try it?
Oh, absolutely. I'll go with you.
I was going to say. Yeah, I think I'll leave that to the experienced jumpers, like Charlotte. Steve Harris, First Alert 4.
Awesome story there, so sweet. But speaking of those awesome stories, let's go into some of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. Now, details on the suspected shooter in Fort Stewart, Georgia. We'll have all the latest coming up. An investigation now underway after a father and son were killed in a house fire yesterday afternoon in Huntsville. 48's Callie Neese is on that. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. And it is 3:55. We actually do not have a Facebook question today, so it's very sad. No Facebook fun for today's Before the 4, but stay tuned for tomorrow at 3:40. In tomorrow's Before the 4, we will absolutely get to Facebook fun. But anyway, that is it for today's Before the 4. Thank you all for sticking around and spending just a bit of your Wednesday afternoon here. I hope you all have a fantastic night. Enjoy tonight's evening newscast. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.